Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. In a stunning twist that no one could have foreseen, a judge's decision has now forced Kody Brown, who has long been accused of favoritism, secrecy, and an unhealthy obsession with control, to reveal what insiders are now calling his sick and twisted loyalty scorecard, a bizarre system that he allegedly used behind closed doors for years to measure, rank, and control the women in his life. If that doesn't sound like something straight out of a toxic reality TV thriller, then buckle up, because the details that have begun to leak are jaw-dropping, stomach-turning, and enough to make viewers question every single moment of his meticulously constructed public persona. Imagine this. Kody, the patriarch of a sprawling plural marriage that was meant to symbolize unity, faith, and love for all, is sitting under oath in a courtroom where lawyers are probing every dark corner of his private life. Instead of hiding behind his usual bluster, bravado, and never-ending excuses, the legal system itself corners him. The judge demands that he turn over documents, journals, and records that he thought would never be seen, only to reveal that he had maintained a ranking system for years, assigning a score to each wife based on how obedient, loyal, and in alignment they were with his desires, his dreams, and, most controversially, his relationship with Robyn, the woman many fans have long suspected was at the top of his priority list. Insiders who claim to have seen pieces of this so-called scorecard say that Kody would deduct points for disobedience, negative energy, or daring to question his authority. One source described this system as militaristic, cult-like, and absolutely dehumanizing. Kody would allegedly assign points for things like whether the wives defended him in public arguments, whether they financially contributed to his vision for Coyote Pass without complaining, whether they spoke positively about him to the children, and whether they refrained from questioning Robyn's elevated status in the family hierarchy. This troubling scorecard allegedly surfaced after the judge's ruling, which was part of ongoing legal disputes related to property division, child support, and allegations of financial manipulation, demanded full disclosure of any private records that could prove patterns of favoritism or financial inequities. It was claimed that Kody was not only emotionally manipulative, but also used loyalty as a tool to justify giving Robyn more privileges, money, and time, while punishing Mary, Janelle, and Christine with lower rankings that effectively reduced their value in the family to a number. Fans who had conjectured that Kody played favorites are now shaking their heads in confirmation, as the so-called loyalty scorecard demonstrates that their long-held suspicions were accurate, purposefully harsh, and not merely the result of paranoia or TLC editing techniques. The fallout has been nothing short of explosive. Christine reportedly feels validated in her decision to leave what she now refers to as a toxic dictatorship. Mary, who frequently appeared to be holding out hope for reconciliation, is reportedly privately incensed that she was given a low score while Robyn sat comfortably at the top like a queen. And Janelle is reportedly incensed that she spent years of her life and thousands of dollars in a marriage where her value was downgraded like a report card. Fans are analyzing every previous episode to see if they can identify instances where Kody's strange scoring system affected his behavior, from the way he disregarded Janelle's housing concerns to the way he consistently undermined Christine's happiness to the way he always seemed to shield Robyn from accountability. Hashtags like #KodyScorecard and #JusticeForTheWives have taken to social media. According to legal experts, this revelation could have serious ramifications, particularly if it reveals that decisions about living conditions, finances, or even children were influenced by a system of favoritism that effectively reduced the family to a ranking competition rather than a marriage. The judge could then use this information to support property distribution or demand new financial settlements. Furthermore, insiders claim that although Kody is attempting to minimize the scorecard as merely personal reflections or spiritual guidance notes, the shockingly detailed, color-coded, and even dated documentation reveals trends over time where wives would rise or fall based on whether they fit his narrative. This further paints a picture of a man who is more preoccupied with control, ego, and dominance than with love, equality, or faith. This latest courtroom revelation, The forced disclosure of Kody Brown's loyalty scorecard may be the last nail in the coffin of his reputation because it not only demonstrates favoritism but also deliberate, calculated manipulation, which even TLC may no longer be able to spin into sympathy. It's a sick twist in a story that has already seen public divorces, explosive tell-alls, and bitter accusations. With its distinctive depiction of a polygamous family negotiating the challenges of their unusual lifestyle, the reality television program Sister Wives has long enthralled viewers. Since the show's 2010 debut, the Brown family, headed by patriarch Kody Brown and his 4 wives, Mary, Janelle, Christine, and Robin, has been the subject of intrigue, conflict, and controversy. Viewers have seen the family suffer with social criticism, personal hardships, and the complex relationships of multiple marriages throughout the years. However, a recent bombshell, a judge's decision, has brought the family back into the public eye and compelled Kody to disclose what has been called a sick loyalty scorecard. The Sister Women fan base has been rocked by this discovery, which has led to contentious debates concerning Kody's leadership, his relationships with his women, and the underlying conflicts that have long simmered within the family. The idea of a loyalty scorecard is both fascinating and unnerving. According to reports, it alludes to a system that Kody supposedly employed to rank and assess his wives according to how faithful they were to him and the family. The scorecard's presence has sparked debate over the power dynamics in the Brown family and Kody's strategy for handling his multiple marriages, even though its exact details are still somewhat unknown. The disclosure of such a system has left both fans and detractors in shock since it depicts an image of control, manipulation, and favoritism for a family that has frequently put up a united face. Examining the background of the Brown family's journey is crucial to comprehending the significance of this decision and the scorecard. In the context of the Browns' extreme Mormon views, the Sister Wives series initially examined polygamy. The dynamic but divisive patriarch Kody was presented as a man attempting to strike a balance between his obligations to his 4 women and their large family. Mary, the first wife, frequently struggled with her role as the original spouse. Janelle, the pragmatic second wife, concentrated on financial stability. Christine, the third wife, accepted her role as a nurturing homemaker. And Robin, the 4th and newest wife, brought a sense of modernity and emotional sensitivity to the family. Each wife brought her unique personality and viewpoint to the marriage. Together, they offered a complicated yet apparently harmonious family dynamic that defied social expectations and allowed viewers to enter their world. But as the seasons changed, the family's facade started to show signs of weakness. Financial hardship, legal disputes, and changing relationships were among the new difficulties brought about by the relocation from Utah to Las Vegas and then Flagstaff, Arizona. Supporters observed escalating hostility between Kody and his wives, especially when Robin's position within the family appeared to take precedence. Many viewers pointed to Kody's seeming partiality for Robin as a topic of contention in their conjectures regarding favoritism. These rumors are only heightened by the introduction of the loyalty scorecard, which raises the possibility that Kody codified his prejudices in a way that measured his wives' value according to their loyalty to him. According to reports, the judge's decision for Kody to make this record public was the result of court cases involving the family. Although the case's precise nature is yet unknown, given the complexity of the family, it seems to be related to disagreements over money, property, or perhaps custody. The Browns had previously been under legal investigation, most notably when they left Utah to avoid being charged with polygamy in the state. However, it appears that this most recent legal dispute has revealed a very private and frightening side of Kody's leadership. The scorecard may have been considered pertinent to the case, maybe as proof of emotional manipulation or unfair treatment inside the family, based on the court's decision to require its disclosure. Fans, pundits, and even former members of the Brown family's inner circle have all had a flurry of comments to the disclosure of the loyalty scorecard. Viewers have expressed shock, grief, and incredulity on social media sites like X. Many have referred to the scorecard as a toxic and sick representation of Kody's personality. One user wrote, "Kody's loyalty scorecard is just proof of how he pits his wives against each other. in one of the posts on X that characterized the scorecard as a weapon of control. It is disgusting and manipulative. The spouses, especially Mary, Janelle, and Christine, who have frequently been marginalized in favor of Robyn in recent seasons, have drawn compassion from others. As fans analyze the scorecard's significance and what it shows about the relationships of the family, the hashtag #SisterWives has become popular. Fundamentally, the loyalty scorecard poses serious queries regarding the Browns' polygamous lifestyle. According to Sister Wives, plural marriage is based on respect for one another, a common faith, and a dedication to the family's overall well-being. The scorecard, however, presents a hierarchy in which Kody is disproportionately powerful and judges his women according to standards that can put his own inclinations ahead of the harmony of the family. This dynamic reveals a structure that seems more patriarchal than cooperative, undermining the egalitarian principles the Browns have always professed to support. Although the scorecard's exact details are unknown, it is thought to contain measurements like how closely each wife agrees with Kody's choices, how much they help the family achieve its objectives, and perhaps even how much they are willing to submit to Robyn, who has long been regarded as Kody's favorite. Although some fans think Kody may have retained written or digital recordings of his evaluations, others have conjectured that the scorecard may have been a mental construct rather than a tangible document. The existence of the scorecard, in whatever form, indicates a degree of calculating that many people find unsettling in a marriage. Mary, Janelle, and Christine probably feel betrayed by the scorecard's disclosure. From Mary's infertility issues and emotional separation from Kody to Janelle's attempts to preserve her financial independence and Christine's ultimate decision to dissolve the marriage in 2021, each of these ladies has encountered many difficulties inside the family. These tensions might have been made worse by the scorecard, which would have reinforced feelings of marginalization or inadequacy. For Sister Wives fans, Christine's exit was especially significant because it was the first time one of Kody's wives openly left the family. Christine mentioned a lack of equality and emotional support in the marriage in interviews after she left, and the scorecard's existence appears to substantiate these claims. However, Robyn has also been the subject of criticism. She has frequently been positioned as the favorite in both the show's plot and fan conversations because she is the newest wife and the one thought to have Kody's favor. Perceptions that Robyn has a privileged position in the family, possibly at the expense of her sister wives, may be further fueled by the loyalty scorecard. Robyn has insisted that she wants peace in the family, but the scorecard's disclosure would cause tension in her relationships with Mary, Janelle, and the Browns' kids, all of whom have expressed their own dissatisfaction with Kody's management. The scorecard has an impact on the Sister Wives viewers as a whole in addition to the immediate family. The show has always had to balance showing the Browns as a loving, functional family with highlighting the difficulties that come with polygamy. A clear reminder of the power disparities that can occur in several marriages, the loyalty scorecard tilts the scales in the direction of dysfunction. The scorecard may cause those who have supported the Browns' way of life as a legitimate option to reevaluate their opinions and face the less savory facets of the family dynamic. Psychologically speaking, Kody's demand for control in a complicated and frequently chaotic family structure can be observed in the loyalty scorecard. By its very nature, polygamy necessitates a careful balancing act between resources, emotional energy, and attention. The scorecard might have served as a means of bringing order to an otherwise chaotic atmosphere for Kody, who has frequently referred to himself as the family's linchpin. But because it treats his wives and kids more like a transactional test of devotion than a true partnership, this strategy runs the danger of alienating them. Equally important are the scorecard's legal ramifications. The scorecard might have a significant impact on the Browns' legal and financial situation if it were used as evidence in a court dispute. The scores might be used, for instance, to contend that Kody's choices were unfair or prejudiced in cases involving property disputes, which could have an impact on how assets are divided. Kody's credibility as a spouse and parent may also be impacted if the scorecard is used as proof of emotional manipulation in a lawsuit involving custody or family relations. The judge's decision to compel the scorecard's disclosure indicates that the court considers it to be a crucial piece of evidence that could influence the case's outcome. The scorecard's public response has also brought attention to broader social perceptions of polygamy. Despite sister wives' significant efforts to legitimize multiple marriage, the loyalty scorecard perpetuates unfavorable perceptions of polygamy as fundamentally oppressive and patriarchal. The scorecard serves as support for those who believe polygamy is incompatible with contemporary ideas of equality and consent, and the show's critics have long maintained that the dynamics of the Brown family give Kody excessive authority. However, Brown's supporters contend that the scorecard is an anomaly and reflects Kody's specific shortcomings rather than polygamy in general. The loyalty scorecard will probably continue to be a topic of conversation as the sister wives story progresses. For the Brown family, it marks a difficult phase in an already turbulent journey that has revealed long-standing problems in their marriage. Fans find it to be a startling turn of events that gives the story they have been following for more than 10 years new dimensions. It remains to be seen if the scorecard eventually causes more family disintegration, or if it acts as a catalyst for transformation. However, it is evident that the judge's decision has exposed the inner workings of the Brown family, exposing a relationship that is both complicated and contentious. The loyalty scorecard's disclosure also highlights the more general difficulties of upholding a plural marriage in the eyes of the public. The Browns have been letting fans into their life for years, sharing their victories and setbacks. However, the scorecard implies that even the most ardent supporters were ignorant of some facets of their dynamic. Questions of authenticity, openness, and the costs of living under continual observation are raised by this discrepancy between the family's public persona and their private lives. The disclosure of the scorecard can make Kody face his mistakes. He has frequently presented himself as a leader driven by love and religion in his role as the patriarch of the Brown family. However, the scorecard presents a different image of a man who might have placed more importance on control than connection. Kody's future interactions with his wife, kids, and the sister-wife audience will probably be influenced by how he handles this revelation, whether he defends the scorecard, rejects it, or tries to make amends. The scorecard serves as a reminder to the spouses of the difficulties they have encountered in their joint marriage. Robin, Janelle, and Mary now have to deal with the consequences in the public and within the family. The scorecard might validate Christine's decision to pursue a different route, as she has already left the marriage. Since several of the kids have already voiced their dissatisfaction with Kody's leadership and the changing dynamics of the family, the kids are also probably going to be impacted. In the end, the loyalty scorecard offers a glimpse into the intricacies of the Brown family's existence and is more than just a dramatic headline. It draws attention to the delicate balance between love, loyalty, and power in a plural marriage, as well as the difficulties that come with leading such a lifestyle in the public spotlight on a personal and legal level. The scorecard, which compels the family and their viewers to face difficult realities about love, loyalty, and the price of living genuinely, will surely continue to be a pivotal point in the sister wives narrative.